Hello and welcome to Life Lessons, a place for quiet reflection and the moments that help us slow down enough to listen. I'm Beth, and I've been thinking about how often we want life to make perfect sense, to have instructions, or at least a map that tells us when to turn and where to stop. But I'm starting to believe the point was never to have it all figured out. Maybe the lesson is learning how to float for a bit, to trust movement even when we can't see where it leads. Here's today's reflection. When the river knows before you do. Some days, I wish life came with a map. I'm talking about a neatly folded guide with routes clearly marked, dotted lines showing the detours, and a little compass in the corner pointing north towards certainty. But then I remember how rivers work, and I realize how dull a life that might be. Rivers don't come with blueprints. They curve when they need to, carve rock when they must, and slow down when the banks widen. They don't panic when they meet a bend they didn't plan for. They simply flow, trusting that the path ahead will reveal itself one gentle turn at a time. I think about that a lot when I'm tempted to rush something into being, when I want the answer, the outcome, the what's next to show up on demand. Maybe you know that feeling too, the restless kind of waiting that makes you second-guess every step you've taken. But I have to relearn, often, that life's timing is rarely early, and it's never truly late. It arrives like water, finding you exactly when you've cleared enough space to receive it. It's not easy to trust that, of course. We live in a world of instant updates and two-day shipping, where even the act of waiting for toast can feel like an affront to progress. Yet, some things just won't be hurried, like healing, clarity, forgiveness, and the courage to begin again. They move at their own rhythm, like rivers easing through a landscape that's been shaping them for centuries. Sometimes we think we're standing still when really we're being softened. The current is working quietly beneath the surface, carving new channels, carrying old debris downstream. The pause, the part that feels stagnant or uncertain, that's often the stretch of still water that precedes the next rush of movement. It's funny how often we mistake quiet for inactivity. But if you've ever stood beside a river in that in-between moment before it bends, before it deepens, you know there's an entire world of motion hidden beneath the calm. That's life, too, the slow gathering before the next chapter begins. So maybe the invitation isn't to rush toward clarity, but to make peace with not knowing for a little while, to let things ripen in their own season, to believe that, like the river, you're still moving even when the world feels suspended. Instead of listening to the voices of worry, try listening to that gentler current underneath. You might notice that the timing of things has a strange sort of wisdom to it. The missed opportunity that later becomes protection. The delay that made room for something better. The closed door that saved you from walking into the wrong room altogether. Rivers have no clocks, and they still arrive where they're meant to go. Maybe we could learn something from that kind of faith. The kind that doesn't demand proof before it trusts the path. So, if you're waiting right now for news or for healing or for your own heart to feel like home again, take a breath. Let yourself be exactly where you are. The river already knows the way. The end. There's something comforting about remembering that rivers don't rush to their destinations. They just keep showing up for the next bend. I think most of us forget that we're allowed to move in that way too, curving when we need to, resting when we must. letting the landscape shape us without losing ourselves to it. We spend so much time trying to outthink uncertainty, turning every silence into a problem to solve. But maybe progress isn't loud. Maybe it's the quiet work happening underneath, the softening, the surrender, the way we keep moving even when we feel still. I like to think real growth feels a little like water, reshaping us slowly and patiently with a persistence that doesn't need to prove itself. So if you're waiting, wondering where your path is leading, maybe you can let go of the calendar for a little while and just listen for the current. It's already guiding you, even if you can't name the destination yet. That's today's life lesson. I hope you found something that felt right. Take care.